This video is sponsored by Fawcett Gaming, the creator of Nazi Zombies. More on that later, but first we're going to talk about the game itself.
Oh, I certainly know what to do with this.
Earlier this month, Fawcett Gaming soft launched their new game, Nazi Zombies, on Steam. And it's an early access shooter, a horde shooter, meant for solo or up to 4 players in co-op. If you've played World at War Zombies, Black Ops Zombies, so on and so forth, or even indie games like Nasty Zombies, you know what to expect from this. There are going to be unending hordes of the dead, waves, perk machines, weapons off the wall. This is not hiding the fact that it borrows a lot from World at War Zombie experience, or Black Ops. It's closer to the original Zombies than whatever came out, like with Cold War, or Black Ops 6, or Black Ops 7. The question is it good? It's an early access shooter, and I've had mixed experiences with early access games. Bear in mind, I was a playtester for this, so I'm going to have my own biases. Plus, I do like the creator. Fawcett's a cool guy, and that probably is going to sway me as well, but I'm going to try to offer a neutral opinion and try to be as unbiased as I can. Nazi Zombies is a free game on Steam that also has an option for a supporter pack that costs about $4. It launched with 3 levels, 3 modes, 4 characters, and a bunch of guns. You already know the gist of the game. Hordes of undead Nazis are swarming your position. You and your friends have to team up and fight for your lives. It's an intense, thrilling experience, and it's pretty neat. I know that sounds kinda weak, but I've had this experience before. I've played quite a few games based off the World at War Zombies experience, including the proper PC versions of the Call of Duty games. This definitely reminds me more of Onirism's Tales mode than of Nasty Zombies. Nasty Zombies went kind of its own way, but that's in a good way. That stood out uniquely. Nazi Zombies is much more faithful. It has more of a retro experience. The graphics, the sound design, everything's meant to evoke feelings of the Doom era, or maybe even the Quake era.
Somebody needs to turn on that power. Always love getting a little extra firepower.
You have a 2-gun limit, you buy weapons off the wall using points you get from repairing barricades and killing zombies. Certain weapons and certain kill locations offer more points. There's Easter eggs that you can solve, there are traps you can activate. You can upgrade your weapons with blessings to make them stronger and gain new abilities. There's a mystery box you can open up that contains a bunch of guns, including stuff you can't find on the wall, and a wonder weapon or 2. I mean, the ray gun's there. It is the Nazi Zombies experience with the serial numbers filed off, even more so than Onirism's Tales mode. Is it good? I'd say it's pretty fun. Don't get me wrong, this isn't revolutionizing anything. This is a pretty straightforward horde shooter. You are getting exactly what you would expect from this. If you didn't like the CoD Zombies experience, or if you wanted there to be more to it, then this probably won't be for you. If you really liked it, if you had a lot of fun with friends playing Nazi Zombies co-op on World at War, or playing Black Ops Zombies, then this is probably up your alley.
Max ammo!
I'd say I like the changes it does make. It adds a bit of progression, and it helps encourage you to keep playing. There are ranks you earn by going up and killing zombies. You collect experience by killing them, completing objectives. There are a bunch of challenges you do involving weapon kills, and certain challenges, and certain secrets to find. Doing so also grants you experience, but it also unlocks weapon skins. These are a bunch of variety of finishes that you can give weapons, and they are accumulated sort of like nasty zombies. Each tier resets your kills, but it also grants you a new skin. So like you'll start out with this bluish camo color, then you'll get a desert camo, then an urban camo, eventually it'll go all the way up to a golden camo. And if you buy the supporters pack, you'll get a platinum camo option to start out with. The challenges are grindy, but I mean the game itself throws a ton of enemies at you, especially later on, so it isn't that hard to start earning your way up through the ranks. Plus, ranking up isn't that hard, and if you want to go for an extra challenge, you can prestige. There are 3 levels in total we're going to talk about. One set at a farm, one set at an abandoned house, and one set in this squat little shack. The farm one was the one I tested out the most back in last year, 2025. You're set around this farm that's been overrun by Nazi zombies. You're holding out with you or potentially 3 other friends. There are dead cows, boarded up windows and such. Your goal is to get the power on, and then to hold out as long as you can. It's straightforward. There are some paths you can use for training zombies. The mystery box is pretty easy to find, same with the power. There's an Easter egg song you can unlock. It's no frills, no nonsense. There isn't a ton of space to it, but it's pretty navigatable. There aren't really choke points aside from 1 or 2 places. The house is pretty cool too. This is the tougher of the options, I'd say, because there are more ways around it, but there are also more ways to get cornered and boxed in by zombies. You start out in this dilapidated house with a ruined backyard. There are a bunch of rubble everywhere, the windows are barricaded, the Nazi zombies are breaking in. You gotta hold them off. You also have to turn on the power, and there are traps and other things. The mystery box is outside. It's wider open generally. There's more room to navigate around zombies, to juke around them, but that also means they have more ways to try to corner you. You can try to lead them in certain paths, and it is pretty successful in giving you different ways of approaching the Horde, but overall it's tougher from my experience. The 3rd level is set in this little shack. It's called Claustrophobe, and you are holding out with one little space. The power's already on. The perk machines, the mystery box, the upgrade machine, they're all right next to you along with a machine gun trap. And you basically don't have much room to navigate around these guys. Your only line of defense is a barricaded window, and every zombie that spawns is going to go right for it. The experience is unique. It's a different concept. I mean, you could argue it isn't much of a level, but it's special in that regard. There is no defensive line to fall back to. Juking is near impossible. You have to hold your ground. That adds to the tension and the thrill of it. Plus, there's a sense of immediate gratification, wherein if you want to immediately hit the mystery box, you can. If you immediately want a perk, you can also get it. But speaking of which, the arsenal in this game is pretty good. I liked the guns they had on offer. You'll start out with some weaker guns like the Olympia, which is a 2-shot shotgun with good damage, but slower reload speeds. There's a 308 rifle, which is good for early waves, but generally pitiful otherwise. And later on, you'll find better guns. There's a really good M1 Garand, one of my favorites I've had in a while in games. A PP2000 that isn't the best outside of an upgrade, and other guns you can find. I really like the Sturmgewehr 44, although there are a lot of other cool guns on tap, like a multi-chamber grenade launcher, the Lightbringer, which is a bootleg version of the Wunderwaffe DG2, like I said earlier, a ray gun, an M249 saw, which when upgraded allows you to dual wield it, and plenty of other guns. There were some surprise hits among them. I found that the sniper rifles were surprisingly good, especially when hip-fired or when using the scope. It's uncommon because I often avoided the snipers in other zombie games, so it was refreshing that they didn't totally suck here. The perks are basically the Black Ops 1 perks, at least in Kino der Toten. So you have like a revive soda, which either lets you revive characters faster, or in solo brings you back up for a maximum of 3 times. There's a buff soda that makes you stronger, able to take 4 hits instead of 2. There's a double tap root beer equivalent that speeds up your firing rate, and a speed cola equivalent that speeds up your repair time and your reload speeds. Typical stuff if you've played any of the zombie entries. It's pretty fun, and I also like how you're able to choose your character. In some of the older zombie games it was random, but here you can choose which operator you want to play as. They have different bit-crunched voice lines and personalities and designs. They're kind of fun. I like the macho American Vietnam vet guy, this overly poetic Scottish guy with a beard, this money-obsessed agent. They're all neat in their own ways. And they add their own charm to which character you want to choose, even if it's just a cosmetic thing.
Crunchy on the outside, gooey on the inside. Chomp on that, flesh bag. More for the death toll.
Aside from the regular mode, you can also do endless mode, where the game tracks your time and the zombies just keep coming. Every minute they'll get slight buffs, and these stack until they eventually become this unstoppable horde. And your strategies have to completely change because there is no break outside of hitting a nuke or getting fortify. There's also practice mode, which is more or less what you'd expect. You'll learn the ropes of the mode and how to play the game. Power-ups, again, basically the World at War or Black Ops 1 versions. So max ammo, fortify, which is the equivalent of carpenter, double points, nuke, your typical stuff. I had heard there was supposed to be an equivalent of the dog round, but as of playing, that doesn't exist yet. I think that might be tied into one of the biggest problems people could have, which is that if you're looking for a wide variety of options, this doesn't really have them. Sure, the different modes help, and the maps are distinct. The challenges help encourage replayability. But, like, if you compare it to, again, Tails mode, Nazi Zombies has significantly less levels. If you compare it to Nasty Zombies, the amount of levels are about the same, but there is more depth to the weapon system and such. But, on the other hand, Nazi Zombies is free. You can get the Supporters Pack, but everything that matters about the game comes by default. I think the price tag helps out, because, honestly, there's no harm in giving it a shot. I would recommend it, mainly because of the price tag. Like, if you don't like it, it is what it is. You can just uninstall it. I think it's worth trying out, even in early access. It's not like Killer Bean, where I loved it, but people understandably didn't like how rough it was. Or like Pigface, where I didn't like it because it didn't deliver on stuff I'd hoped for, but other people really liked it. I'd say this is, generally speaking, starting off at a good spot. The free-to-play approach was the right one, because if people liked it enough, they can get the Supporters Edition to actually pay for the game. But if people are just curious, they can dip their toes in with the free option. I think Fawcett made the right move here, and, again, for disclosure, I got this for free, I play-tested it, Fawcett Gaming is a friend of mine, so I have my own biases at play. But I think because it's free, because it's fun, because it introduces its own ideas and has fun with the concept, it's worth a shot. And plus, since the game is lower detail, lower poly, it'll run on pretty much anything. I would be baffled if you had a PC that would struggle to run this. I think the only thing you'd have to worry about would be multiplayer lag, and that would be more of a connection problem than anything else. So, have you heard of Nazi Zombies? Have you played it, or have you played any of the games I compared it to? Would you say it's worth checking out? And if so, would you play it co-op or single player? I always love to hear what you guys think.
Thanks. It was fun killing you.
Thank you all for watching, and thank you to Fawcett Gaming for sponsoring this. I really appreciate it, man. Take care, everyone.